Hi, my name is Anna Theissen, and I'm the creator of The Butterfly Effect, a curriculum designed to teach high school students about teen dating violence. Today, we're going to be completing day one of the curriculum, What is Teen Dating Violence? I'll be going through the presentation, and when we get to the activity at the end, there'll be time for you to pause the video and discuss the questions associated with each example. For more information, additional resources, and to download the curriculum and the associated educator and parent guides, please head to butterflyeffectwpb.org. So the overview of this lesson, we're going to start with what is dating violence and then go to what are forms of abuse, what do unhealthy behaviors look like, how common is dating violence, and then there's going to be an activity at the end. So starting off, what is dating violence? Dating violence is a pattern of physically, sexually, verbally, and or emotionally abusive or controlling behavior in a dating relationship. It can involve digital communications and technologies or real-world communications and physical interactions. This week will focus specifically on romantic relationships. However, relationship violence can include, but is not limited to, friends, coaches, family, and peers. Second off, what are forms of abuse? So, physical abuse can include scratching, punching, biting, kicking, pinching, burning, pushing or shoving, use of a weapon, physical restraint, spitting, choking, or strangling. Physical abuse includes the behaviors to the left, but can be any act which causes intentional bodily injury. If you or anyone you know feels they've been a target of physical violence, do not be afraid to speak to a professional. Sexual abuse can be unwanted kissing or touching, pressuring into sexual activities, pressuring to send nude photos or videos, sending unwanted nude photos or videos, and non consensual sexual activity. Sexual abuse is any unwanted sexual behavior or any behavior that interferes with another person's right to not consent to sexual acts. If you or anyone you know feels that they have been a target of sexual violence, do not be afraid to speak to a professional. Verbal and emotional abuse. Words that cause another to be afraid. Words or actions intended to lower another's self esteem. Name calling, gaslighting, threatening to harm themselves or loved ones, public embarrassment or shaming, yelling, guilt tripping, excessively checking in, or prevention from seeing or contacting loved ones. Verbal and emotional abuse can be the hardest to spot and the easiest form for targets to make excuses for. Online abuse. Pressuring to remove friends, family on social media, checking and or reading voicemails, notifications, texts, DMs, etc., sending threatening phone calls and or texts, posting or threatening to post photos or videos without consent, tracking a partner's location, or spamming a partner with unwanted phone calls and texts. Stalking can be repeated calls or texts, unexpectedly showing up to a partner's house or current location, or following a partner's movement and location. Online abuse can often intersect with stalking, which can occur online or in person. 3. What do unhealthy behaviors look like? Some characteristics of unhealthy behaviors are that they're intense, jealousy, manipulative, isolating, controlling, sabotaging, belittlement, coercive, guilting, volatile, deflective of responsibility, betrayal, on dishonesty, overdependence or codependence, and intimidating. Individuals in violent relationships often experience feelings of insecurity, invalidation, and isolation. Relationships should make you feel happy and safe. If you think your relationship may be unhealthy or unsafe, do not be afraid to speak to a professional. 4. How common is dating violence? Teen dating violence statistics. 1 in 4 teens report a form of dating violence every year, 1 in 5 girls and 1 in 10 boys. 45% of girls know someone who has been pressured into sexual acts. 33% of teenage targets report dating violence, and even less report forms of cyber violence to professionals. It's more common than you think. Learning the warning signs and characteristics of dating violence are key to its prevention. Look for behaviors in all your relationships. Any relationship can become unhealthy or even abusive. Don't be afraid to get help. If you think you or a peer may be in an unsafe or unhealthy relationship, reach out. Remember, dating violence or abuse is never the target's fault. Getting help does not mean that the target is weak. Everyone deserves to be in a loving, healthy relationship. So, this is the activity. There's going to be 3 example situations, which I will read to you, and then you'll have time to pause the video and answer the discussion questions provided. Scenario 1, Alex and Taylor. Alex and Taylor have been dating for a while and are trying to decide where they want to go to college. Alex wants to go to a school far away without Taylor. Whenever they talk about it, Taylor yells at Alex and calls Alex stupid for thinking about going to a school that far away. Sometimes, Taylor also slams doors or throws things in Alex's direction. Taylor usually comes back later to apologize, saying they're just scared of losing Alex. The other day, Alex heard Taylor on the phone making fun of Alex's test scores with a friend and calling Alex dumb for answering a question wrong in class. So the first question is, what kind of abusive or unhealthy behaviors are present? What characteristics of unhealthy relationships are present? You can go ahead and pause this video to discuss this amongst yourselves. The second question is Taylor excused because they apologized? Why or why not? Again, take a second and discuss this amongst yourselves. Scenario 2, Kennedy and Logan. Kennedy and Logan just started dating. Kennedy is ready to have sex with Logan, but Logan isn't sure they're ready yet. Whenever they hang out, Kennedy brings sex up and tells Logan, if you loved me, you would want to have sex, and that Kennedy feels Logan must not be attracted to them since Logan doesn't want to have sex. Sometimes, Kennedy tries to touch Logan without asking. Kennedy also sends Logan nude images without warning, telling them they are missing out. One day, Logan decides to send Kennedy a nude picture back. The next day at school, Kennedy's friends make jokes about Logan's picture. What kind of abusive or unhealthy behaviors are present? What characteristics of unhealthy relationships are present? You can go ahead and pause the video now to discuss this. Did Logan decide to send Kennedy a picture on their own, or was it because they felt pressured? Why? Again, go ahead and pause the video and take a second to discuss this. Scenario 3, Jordan and Cameron. Jordan and Cameron have been dating for a couple months. Jordan has a best friend of the opposite sex and has known them since elementary school. Cameron starts to act jealous and begins to ask Jordan to stop spending so much time with the friend because the friend is taking up all of Jordan's time. A couple weeks later, Cameron starts texting Jordan several times a day asking where they are and who they are with. Cameron has also begun suggesting that they share GPS locations on their phone with each other. What kind of abusive or unhealthy behaviors are present? What characteristics of unhealthy relationships are present? Go ahead and take a couple minutes to discuss this. Should Jordan tell Cameron that they are being irrational or that their feelings are not valid? Again, you can go ahead and pause the video to talk about this. Is Cameron right to expect Jordan to spend most of their time with Cameron? Finally, this is the last question. Go ahead and discuss this amongst yourselves. So that is the end of the presentation for day 1, What is Dating Violence? You can go ahead and watch the next video, which is day 2, What are some warning signs of dating violence? Or go to butterflyeffectwpb.org for more information.